Hello, my name is Louie. In this video, I will discuss the use of Kinomap using the front-facing sensor for non-smart exercise equipment, along with the Sunday magnetic rower. Kinomap is a virtual reality fitness app that includes running, cycling, rowing, and other types of workouts, and is based on user-contributed videos for workouts. Usually for this type of app, it depends on the use of equipment that can transmit power information from the equipment to the app, usually over Bluetooth. However, Kinomap also allows for people who have a cheaper non-connected machine through the use of the front-facing camera. This video will focus on the use of the front-facing camera, but I'll start by discussing the Sunday magnetic rower. The Sunday RW5515 is a budget magnetic rower. Being a budget rower means that the display doesn't include very useful metrics. And so, for a good review of the Sunday magnetic rower, I would recommend a video by Austin at Training Tall. Now, it's a very glowing review, especially at this price point. However, he has one big problem, and that is the range of motion. And so here are the two issues he raises. First of all, now bear in mind, Austin is 6'8". I am 5 feet 6 inches. So his problem is that when he extends for the catch, he is so tall that he can't do a full extension because he hits the housing. At 5'6", I don't really have this problem. Okay, so I have a couple inches to spare. The other thing that he complains about is that the foot pedals pivot. Now, ideally, they would be fixed in place so you can do a proper drive. And so, if you don't have very good range of motion, your pedals will pivot when you get into the catch position and your knees get over your ankles. All right. So, if you have good range of motion, you will probably naturally keep your feet upright and to position yourself for a proper drive. And so, later on, when I actually demonstrate this, I'll take a closer look at the Kinomap app itself. The core of Kinomap are the motion videos. These are user-contributed videos, workouts, again, using cycling, running, rowing. Some of the rowers are actually paddle sports, so kayaking or canoeing. And there are two ways of playing these workout videos. One is in challenge mode. So as Kinomap is taking your power data, it plays the video at a speed that it corresponds to your weight and the power output that you are having. So if you're going faster than the creators, the video will play faster. If you're slower than the creator, the video will play slower. There's usually a leaderboard with some other users who have done this video in the past, and so you will see them go through the course at their speed. And this can be motivating. They usually pick some other users that are around the same fitness level based on your past workouts. So there's usually somebody who you can use as a rabbit, so you can chase them during the course. Or you can try to make sure you stay ahead of somebody on the leaderboard. The other option is to play in discovery mode. So while Kinomap is recording your power data and as you go through the course, it's going to play the video at the speed of the creator. Two reasons you want to do this. One is you want to be on the machine for a certain period of time. So this will ensure that you're on the same time as the video was originally created. The second thing is that if you're using Kinomap for the environment and you're just exercising along. So there are some videos that I like because you can hear the boat going through the water, or you can hear the birds chirping in the background, or you can hear other people in other boats. And so if you want that experience, you would play in discovery mode. Next are the coaching videos. So these are video workouts with a trainer involved. And for English language rowing, an example of these videos is John, who has the Row Along channel on YouTube. He also has a channel here on Kinomap. So if you follow him on YouTube, you can follow him and record your data in Kinomap as well. Next is multiplayer. So multiplayer is where Kinomap will take a video and schedule a time that many people can go through the video at the same time. And so this is, again, you'll have a leaderboard You'll have icons representing people going through the course, except these people are live. Again, this tends to be surprisingly motivating, as there's typically somebody who is around your safe fitness level, and you can essentially race them live during the course. Or if you have friends, you can do it together. Next are the free rides. And so in the free rides, a Kinomap acts as a data collector during your workout, but there's no structure to it. One reason that I use free ride is if I have a program that I'm actually following. So I follow street parking programming, and they have endurance workouts. Some of them are for distance, but many of them are for time. And so especially the ones that are for time, and since distance is variable, I'll use the free ride as my tracking mechanism in Kinomap. And finally, there's structured workouts. And so again, if you follow a training program, they're usually in the form of intervals of some kinds. And so many of these intervals are present here if somebody has created a structured workout in Kinomap that corresponds to it. Next, I'm going to set up the camera. So I'm going to touch more, then equipment management. And you can see my treadmill, which has a Bluetooth FTMS sensor, which is kind of a standard for equipment to broadcast power to apps like this. So I have a sensor on my treadmill, and I have a bike trainer. So I'm going to add the rower. So check plus, select the rower. When you do this, it's going to look for a model. You can select the model of equipment if you had it. This is not a connected equipment, so I'm going to use the camera, and I'm going to select it by using the device icon. And what you want to do is set it up so that your head is somewhat centered on the camera. So the way that this works, again, I don't know exactly how Kinomap does this, but from what I know about computer vision, what it can do is it can tell the distance of the object from the camera. So if I'm rowing, for example, it knows I'm at my catch at the front, I drive, and I'm in the back. Okay? So it knows a few things. One, it knows the rate as I go back and forth, as I cycle back and forth. It knows acceleration, so it can tell how hard my drive is, how fast my drive accelerates. And it can tell you how long my stroke is, front to back. Okay? And it can take all these things and come up with an estimate of power. Other things that Kinomap knows is it asks in your profile for you to enter in your height and weight and a maximum heart rate. So using your weight and your power, it can come up with an estimate of speed for the workout you're doing. If it's rowing, if it's cycling or running, it will also account for the incline or decline and come up with an estimate for speed. And that's how fast it was going to play the video. Now let's set up the heart rate monitor. So I'm going to touch continue. I'll touch the gear icon down to the bottom and add an additional sensor. So I'll add a heart rate sensor. And it detects that I'm wearing a Polar H7 chest heart rate monitor. So I'll pick that. And I will save. And now I am done with selecting the equipment. Now that I've selected the equipment, let's start a workout. So I'm going to select motion video. If I know I'm going to do a workout, I will typically try to download it ahead of time so I'm not dependent on my Wi-Fi. So I'm going to collect this as a short video out in the South Pacific by Kevin Scott. So I'm going to collect this and I'm going to say train now. And again, you can do this in two modes, challenge mode or discovery mode. I'm going to choose discovery mode. So for the first part of this workout, I'm going to show you the screen so you can see what the display looks like. Later on, I'm going to switch to a full view so you can look at me on the rower. Specifically, you can look at the my position to catch, and the rotation of my foot pedals. Okay, so I'm going to hit start. And this is going to be a new training. So you see in the bottom, there's a little square that shows what the camera is seeing, just so you can see that it can tell that I'm moving. You notice the colors, right? On the left, there's a leaderboard. I'll kind of go slow now, and I'll speed up later so you can see how that changes. It shows in the upper left are your indicators for performance. So watts is power. More useful for rowers is the 500 meter split time. So right now I'm going at a 230, 240 split. Then it has this in travel. On the bottom there's elevation, which doesn't mean anything for rowers, but for cyclists and runners it matters. Some estimate on calories burned, the current heart rate if you're wearing a heart rate monitor, and the stroke rate, which is going down since I stopped rowing. Now I'm going to go a little bit faster. A little harder on the drive. And you can see that the power meter does in fact show higher. The pace is a little faster. I'm still off the bottom of the leaderboard because I took a little break. Okay, let's pause, break here, and I will switch to full view. Okay, again, what you want to see here is I'm 5'6". You see I'm in the catch position. I did not hit the housing. All right, again, I'm 5'6". Austin from Training Tall is 6'8", so he can't do this. And you can see my pedals. Yes, it pivots, but not a lot. Mostly because I'm trying to keep my feet in position so I can do a good drive. And let's print this out. So you can see the power output changing when I try to go faster. And let's finish this up. Okay. And that's the end of the video. Let me show you the data display that comes after the end. All right, so this is what it shows at the end of the workout. So you have the actual time it took, so 2 minutes. I went a little bit faster than the video, so it's 2 minutes as opposed to 3. It comes up with an estimate of power, both average and maximum. Since it knows my weight, it translates that to a speed. Cadence, it measures from the camera. Heart rate, it measures from my heart rate monitor. And of course, it knows that I'm using the front-facing camera as my sensor. One of the effects of that is Kinomap is smart enough not to include people using the front-facing camera on the leaderboard, since it doesn't actually measure power directly. Going down, we have a few statistics. Again, here's power and speed measured on the front-facing camera. So this is me starting out the video kind of leisurely. I sped up to give you an idea of what it looks like with different power settings. You can tell I took a break to reposition the camera, and this is my sprint at the end. Heart rate, again from the heart rate monitor. It shows the heart rate dropping as I adjust the camera. Okay. Elevation profile, again, this is rowing. Elevation should be flat, and it is. Power profile, you can see the difference between here is where I spent most of the time. Here's my sprint. Okay. And heart rate zones. All right. And finally, the top of the leaderboard. And again, since I'm using a front-facing camera, I won't get added to the leaderboard. Hello, I hope this video has been useful. I like Kinomap with the front-facing camera sensor, especially when you don't have expensive smart equipment like I do. It's a great way of using these virtual fitness apps, which you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. And feel free to ask questions in the comments below. I'm not an expert in virtual apps or rowing machines for that matter, but I'll try to answer them where I can and maybe point you to somebody else's video when I can't. I'll post some links to videos by Trading Tall, Row Along, and Dark Horse Rowing in the information below. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.